Most people live with an incomplete idea of money. They see it as something scarce, something that must be chased, caught, wrested from the world with almost heroic effort, as if it were prey that could escape at any moment. And that hunting mentality not only limits what you can earn, it limits your peace. Because if you do, thank you. You're afraid of losing it, and if you don't have it, you feel like you can't breathe. That constant wear and tear isn't normal. It's the source of chronic financial stress. And the biggest obstacle isn't the lack of money, it's the fear that it will disappear. Now let me change your perspective completely. What if money wasn't something you get, but something you express? Today we're going to uncover a truth that metaphysics has repeated for centuries. Money is energy, and you are the channel, not the hunter, the channel. Now, the deepest mistake of our civilization is believing that scarcity is out there, as if the world were empty and we had to fight for the crumbs. But scarcity is not an external condition, it's an internal state. It's a contracted consciousness, a mind that feels separated from the source of supply. And abundance works the same way, but in reverse. It doesn't come by luck, it doesn't fall, not from the sky. It doesn't depend on a miraculous inheritance. It comes from your connection with the source. That source, call it divine intelligence, unified field, cosmic mind, is an unlimited reservoir of creation. It is always providing, always. But it does so through you, your ideas, your actions, your creativity, your service. The job, the business, the opportunities, they are not the source, they are pipes. And when you understand that, the fear of scarcity starts to seem absurd. The source never runs out. The only thing that runs out is faith in it. Scarcity is not a lack of money. It's a lack of trust in the source. When this understanding is integrated, your relationship with money changes radically. You stop chasing it with anxiety. You stop living in survival mode, and you start to align yourself. Aligning yourself doesn't mean just sitting. It means adjusting your vibration to the energy of provision. You stop seeing money as an eternal battle, and it starts to become what it really is, a natural consequence of living in coherence with the source. Financial flow doesn't respond to your desperate effort. It responds to the quality of your inner state, to your trust, to your certainty. Money stops being a chase, and it becomes a mirror. And this isn't just a nice belief, it's law. First fundamental law, everything is energy, everything vibrates, everything has a frequency, including money. It doesn't matter if it's paper, numbers on a screen, or digital assets. It's still energy. And like all energy, it responds to vibration. Here's the uncomfortable point. Most people think about money from a place of lack, from the fear of debt, from the anxiety about bills, from the constant doubt about the future. That frequency is low, dense, contracted. And that vibration works like an energetic seal. It blocks the flow. It keeps the cycle of scarcity active. It's not punishment. It's not karma. It's resonance. The expansive energy of money doesn't mix with the contracted energy of fear. No, they're simply not compatible. If your internal identity is "I never have enough," the universe respects that definition and confirms it. Not because it's against you, but because it's responding to your frequency. That's why the change isn't external, it's vibrational. The path to abundance requires a radical leap in frequency. Move from need to certainty. Move from fear to faith, from contraction to expansion. Certainty is powerful. It's a vibration aligned with the source. When you act from the conviction that provision is inexhaustible, when you work with a sense of purpose, when you radiate expansion instead of urgency, the universe responds. It always responds. Money flows when its energy is in tune with yours. Abundance doesn't show up to rescue you from emptiness. It shows up to reflect the fullness you've already built inside. And metaphysics is clear. You don't attract from what you lack, you attract from what you are. If your frequency is one of need, the universe doesn't send you money. It sends you more situations that confirm you're in need. If your frequency is purpose, then the resources to achieve it will come. That's why the first task is not to look for another source outside. It's to adjust your frequency internally. It means to stop projecting fear every day about your financial situation. Stop getting tense every time you look at your bank account as if it were a pop quiz, because only a calm channel can let the flow run clear. Certainty cleans the channel. Fear clogs it. And here comes one of the most liberating laws: understanding the source. Most people, even spiritual ones, make the same mistake. They confuse the pipe with the source. They believe that money comes from the job, from the business, from that key client, from that once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. No, that's the channel, not the source. There's only one source. It's the intelligence that sustains the universe. It's the unlimited reservoir of creation. It's the eternal spring. Your boss, your client, your investment, they are temporary pipes through which the water flows. And the source is not far away. It doesn't live in the sky. It's not hidden on a mystical mountain. It's in your consciousness, waiting for permission to flow. Fear tells you that you have to dig deeper to find water. The truth is more radical. The spring is already within you. If something happens to the pipe, panic sets in. If you lose your job, you feel like life has dried up because you believe the channel was the source. So your energy goes into trying to repair a rusty pipe instead of allowing the water to find a new path. And that obsession with keeping the old channel is what holds you back. But when you understand that there is only one source, fear loses its power. If one channel closes, it doesn't mean the flow has ended. It means that pipe was no longer aligned with your expansion. The intelligence that sustains everything can close one door because it already has others open, even if you can't see them yet. What's being shut off isn't the faucet. It's the structure that was no longer useful. The problem has never been the lack of abundance in the universe. The problem is the lack of faith in the source. Your task is not to desperately cling to a rusty pipe. It's to trust in the spring. And that trust activates the law of attraction and manifestation. If one channel breaks, another appears. Cleaner, more efficient, more aligned. You don't control the river, you clean the channel. The river always finds the sea. And now comes the most powerful and most dangerous part. The tool that blocks money the most is in your mouth. Ancient traditions repeated this. I am is the supreme act of creation. It is the energetic signature of your soul. What you put after I am is not a casual phrase. It is a command. It is a vibrational instruction to the universe. And this is where self-sabotage happens. Every time you say, even as a joke, I am bad with money, I always have bad luck. I never have enough. You're signing decrees against yourself. You're using the greatest spiritual power that exists against yourself. Every time you define yourself from limitation, you're not describing your reality. You're programming it. When you say, I'm bad with money, you're not making an innocent comment. You're sealing your energy field with that label, and energy as always obeys. Metaphysics explains it bluntly. Naming something gives it existence, which is crucial in your field. You declare it, it activates. If you define yourself as financially limited, your subconscious takes note, and it starts to sabotage any opportunity that contradicts that identity. Because your energy needs coherence with what you say you are. Without realizing it, you sign an energetic contract of scarcity. The universe doesn't argue with you. It responds to the identity you present. That's why abundance begins the very second you change your self-definition. The work is not about chasing more money. The work is to transform who you are in relation to money. When your identity changes, the flow has no choice but to align. Here, the shift is radical. You stop repeating the story of your failures and start declaring your higher truth. I am a channel of abundance. I am guided by the source. I am unlimited provision in action. This isn't cheap positive thinking. It's not 5-minute motivational self-deception. It's a creative act. It's conscious reprogramming. Each I am redefines the channel. Each repetition displaces the old identity of fear. The ego, which was used to surviving in scarcity, starts to surrender, and your vibration expands. And when the vibration changes, the channels open. Not by magic, but by coherence. That's the difference between someone who only imagines and someone who truly manifests. But pay attention. Declaring is not enough if the channel is blocked. And here's something that almost no one wants to hear. The biggest blocker of prosperity is not the lack of action. It's the lack of forgiveness. Resentment is a dense, heavy, stagnant energy. Hatred, grudge, accumulated frustration. All of that blocks the flow. It's not a moral punishment. It's energetic physics. The energy of money is expansive. The energy of resentment is pure contraction. They can't coexist in the same channel. However, you want different results, but you consume the same things. You think the same way. You feed your mind with the same things. That's not bad luck. It's a matter of coherence. If you want to break the pattern, change what goes into your mind. In the description, you have 30 days of Audible for free. Use it as an experiment with yourself. Download that book you know you need to listen to. The one that challenges you, the one that confronts you. If after 30 days you're still the same, at least it wasn't for lack of tools. But if something changes, and it will, you'll look back and laugh at how easy it was to start. When you hold a grudge, a part of your energy gets trapped in the past. It's frozen energy capital, and that stagnation shows up as debts, opportunities that don't work out, a feeling of financial burden. It's an invisible knot, but a real one. When you truly forgive, you're not just being a good person. You're releasing energy. That energy that was tied to the past becomes available again. And it transforms into creativity, clarity, opportunities, and yes, also into money. Forgiving is a deep cleansing of the system. It's about unblocking the channel. Once it's clean, another fundamental law comes into play. Time. Provision lives in the present, not in the future. Most people now work and dream of prosperity someday. But provision is not a promise for tomorrow. It's a vibrational reality right now. When you seek wealth in the future, you're affirming that you don't have it today. And the universe responds to that today. Lukewarm hope vibrates at maybe tomorrow. Certainty vibrates in the now. Faith vibrates at I already have what I need, and I act from there. The universe doesn't respond to what you hope for tomorrow. It responds to how you are vibrating today. Fear says, I don't have it yet. Faith says it's already mine, and that difference changes everything. When you affirm provision in the present, you embody it, you don't imagine it, you inhabit it. Abundance is activated when your consciousness is anchored in the certainty of this moment. When you know, without drama, without anxiety, that the source has already provided exactly what is necessary for now. Faith is the anchor that stops restlessness. It brings it to the absolute present, and this is where metaphysics stops being a beautiful theory and becomes real manifestation. Spiritual abundance isn't activated by wishing hard or by repeating phrases like a motivational parrot. It activates when you take the leap, when you trust without having visible guarantees. That fear of jumping is the only real barrier between scarcity and unlimited provision. I'm going to tell you something uncomfortable. 80% don't make it to this point. If you're here, you've already broken the first mental barrier, so show that you're not a passive spectator. Write this phrase exactly as it is. My frequency creates my reality. Not tomorrow, not when something happens, now. If you comment on it, it's not because of the algorithm, it's because you decided to stop vibrating like a beggar and start thinking of yourself as a channel. Faith is the energetic bridge between the invisible and the physical. It's not naive optimism. It's not closing your eyes and crossing your fingers. It's a creative frequency. And it's the only one that vibrates in perfect coherence with unlimited provision. Having faith is knowing that the desire is already manifested, even if you can't see it yet. When you vibrate like that, your energy field expands. Literally, you declare yourself ready to receive. Here's the phrase that may unsettle you, but frees you. When you take a step without seeing the path appears. The universe doesn't need proof of your need, it needs proof of your trust. The physical leap of faith that confirms you've already embraced your identity of abundance, that you've cleared the channel, that you've changed your I am statement. It's the final proof of alignment. In that moment, you step out of the linear logic of if I work hard, maybe I'll earn, and you enter into the law of synchronicity. The right people show up, ideas come, opportunities cross your path. You don't chase them. The universe responds to the frequency of those who already feel provided for. Money doesn't come from desperate effort, it comes from alignment. When you stop looking for it in specific opportunities and connect with the cause, with the source, something changes. You remember who you are, a channel. And from that place, abundance isn't something you chase, it's something you express. Your value doesn't depend on your bank account. Your bank account reflects your energetic value. You are not a beggar asking for cosmic crumbs. You are a channel of the source, and what flows from the source never runs out. Abundance is not a reward, it's your natural state. Now you know the laws, you already have the key. The next step is to take the leap. That act of faith is not forced. It's not theater, it's the natural consequence of your new identity. If the channel is clean and faith is ignited, the movement arises on its own. And when you take that step from coherence, the universe can't help but respond. It responds because the alignment is already done. Thank you.